you guys, my name is Chrissy and welcome to my channel, Chrissy's Walking Beauty. So today I have absolutely no makeup for you, okay? I don't. Not even a little bit of makeup for you, okay? Today I want to come and I just really want to talk to you guys. I felt motivated to speak on friendships, you guys, and just dealing with people who you surround yourself around and things like that. And while I am talking to you guys about that, I'm gonna clean up the makeup, not the makeup on my face, but the makeup on my table. Because anybody who does makeup on themselves or anyone else knows it can be a messy process. So forgive me if I make like any kind of noise. My kids are like making themselves some food and different stuff like that too. So y'all gonna hear some things. Okay. So you guys, this week I have been put in so many different situations and scenarios and conversations that it really just put this on me to want to talk to you guys about and really maybe work through my thoughts while I do so. So you guys, you know, I've been looking around and kind of taking the temperature of the room, if you will, and just kind of seeing like what kind of friendships do I currently have, what are they doing for me, and reevaluating the importance of that friendship in my life. So you guys, let me just like go through this by starting out with I'm in a very unique part of my life right now. I am in the process of building a brand, as you guys can see. I'm in the process of starting a business. I'm in the process of, you know, there's so much transition in my life right now. Like, I'm newly divorced. I have 4 children, one which is not even a year old. And I'm moving across country, and which is why my background has been looking crazy over the last this last month or so, or really the last 2 or 3 months now, because I've been in process of packing and not packing all at the same time, and just getting things in order and set up the way I need them to be. And you know, the whole process of moving, how you have to weed down things so you don't take a whole caravan with you. So you guys, in that, it's really just highlighted in this whole transition, like what type of friends that I currently have, what type of friends I'm looking for, and all of that other good stuff. And I'm not gonna say like I just all of a sudden woke up today and that was my thought process. That's not the case. It was a slow process because truthfully, you guys, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't keep a lot of friends. And I don't mean like keep like I lose friends like that. That's not what I mean. I mean, I have a select few people that I consider friend, and I do work in those relationships, or I do maintenance, or I keep up those relationships. And I'm not the type of person that like, you know, I have like 10 million friends. I've done that in my younger years. It does not do anything for you but cause you drama, because somebody is gonna feel some type of way, which is going to cause, you know, confusion, disorder, and all that other stuff. And I learned very quickly, being the only girl growing up, that was just not for me. And I say the only girl growing up because what I have found is that a lot of females who have sister siblings tend to find themselves in the middle of a lot of drama. And it's just like a whole girly catty thing. And I've just never been the type of person to want to be a part of that, have it in me to be a part of it. And I'm the type of person where I just like to resolve issues just like right off the bat. If I've done something wrong to wrong you, I'm sorry. how can we move on from this? If you've done something wrong, you might not ever even hear about it, because I will assess the situation, forgive you, and not even have to say a word to you, and we can move on like nothing happened, and you won't even know. Unless it's a situation that I see that's reoccurring, then I'll probably bring it up, but not in a like we gonna fight type of way. Like it more or less in a way of, you know, this made me feel some type of way. It's not a big deal in the sense of it's a problem between us right now, but I need you to stop. And like that's how I handle situations. I don't like holding grudges. I don't like having beef or feeling uncomfortable with people or around people, and I like being me. I don't do fake friends. I can't do fake friends. I'm like, you guys, y'all see me every week, 3 times a week, now in this month, every day. Like for real, this is how I am. I'm normally a very happy, upbeat, bubbly type of person. And if I'm down, it's usually because of something going on in my life. It's never because someone else has brought me down. Because I cut ties real quick. Like I have no tolerance at all for the foolishness. And I give people a lot of opportunities too. But getting back to the topic at hand, you know, I've been assessing my current situation with my friendships and what they're investing into me, what I'm investing into me and or them, and how that's working out. I believe in doing like checkpoints with yourself and really being self-aware, because sometimes being self-aware can just really alleviate any kind of problems or drama that you can have or come across. So I do a lot of self-evaluations. So with all of that being said, I started to just really take notice and take note of like my friends and how they are, what they're doing, and if, you know, they are helping, hurting, or neutral. Neutral friends, I really don't like. They're neutral. They're not taking up crazy amount of time. They're relatively positive. They don't really have anything too negative to input or say or anything like that. So, you know, they're neutral. And those friends, you know, I just put them in a little pocket and keep my eyes out, because you can only be so neutral for so long, okay? And then, you know, if I've tried to take notice of if I have any negative friends or friends that aren't really supportive, because sometimes not being supportive is negative energy in itself. Like, let's say for instance, you start a new job and you're super excited and you're like, hey, oh my gosh, I started this new job. I'm so excited about it. I got an office, I did this, I did that, whatever the case may be. You're just joyous about the things that you're doing. And that positive friend will be like, oh my goodness, girl, I am so happy for you. You know, congratulations. And, you know, if they're a really good friend, they'll bring you some flowers, you know, whatever the case may be. And then you have those friends that are like, well, girl, that's cool. Did you know I'm getting ready to... Those friends, cut them out, cut them off, be done, walk away, because they're comparing themselves, okay? That's one lesson, okay? They're comparing themselves. And if you have friends that constantly are in comparison, or what I like to call competition with you, then they are going to drain you. That is a relationship vampire that is trying to make their way into sucking your life away slowly, okay? And on the low. And then you might have that friend that's like, oh, okay, that's nice, I'm happy for you, but you hear it in their voice. They're not enthusiastic. They're not really rejoicing with you. And those are what I would call the neutral friends, because they won't necessarily say anything negative, but they're not really happy for you either, or they're not really on your team. Like, let's just cut to the chase. They're not really on your team. They're not necessarily your adversary, but they're not on your team. So, you know, you guys, with all of that, I've been assessing and just really taking note, like, are these friendships, and sometimes you'll have those friends where it's none of those things. They're relatively positive and happy for you for the things that you're doing, but they constantly have something crazy going on and they want to try to loop you into their craziness. Those friends you got to watch out for too, okay? Because you could be a perfectly consistent, normal type of person who's just trying to chuck through and get the job done, and then you have this, you know, person who, I mean, they're not trying to distract you, they're not trying to take you away from what you have to do, but at the same time their lifestyle is not fitting into where you're trying to go. And I think everybody can attest to having that one friend that just does outrageous, crazy, outlandish things. And you know, they're cool. They don't necessarily say, hey, come over and do this with me. And so they seem relatively cool to have around. But then you always hear, it reminds me of like Boys in the Hood. Like Ricky was the guy who had future, he had college plans, he had a way to pay for college because he had the football and all this other stuff. And he did not do the things that his brother, his friends, and his cousins, whatever you did, but he literally got shot from hanging around them. Like, you know, and I know that a lot of times it seems as though that's such an extreme story, or things like that only happen to people who live in poverty-stricken areas or what have you. But no, that happens on a daily basis with people who seem regular, okay? Like, yeah, you might not get shot, but now you've spent 6 hours not doing what you said you were gonna do, and they care, and like they don't even look at it as they're taking you away from what it is that you're trying to create and produce in your life. And not to say that sometimes you got to take time out to be there for a friend when they're going through things. That's what you're supposed to do. That is what being a friend is about. But if you have friends that are constantly pulling you out for the nonsense, you need to let that one go too, because that one's just as bad as the hater. And even more so, they're more dangerous than the hater, you guys. And let me explain. Because the hater, you can see coming. You know that person's intentions. You know that person's mindset. And you can see it, and it's very clear. But with the distracting friend, that's what we'll call them. With the distracting friend, you don't... You hear this nonsense? Okay, with the distracting friend, you know that they don't have any ill will towards you, but at the same time they're taking you away from your progress. And if you're the type of person where you're not in cruise control in your life, meaning you have the career that you want to have until you die, you have the house that you want until you die, you have the car that you want until you die, you have the husband or wife you want until you die, you've had all the kids that you want until you die, and you have no interest in progress or building or doing better than where you're already at, like if you're in that position, congratulations, because real talk, the rest of us out here hustling, trying to upgrade our lives, okay? And we're trying to get to where you're at. But most of us are trying to build. Most of us are trying to grow. Most of us are trying to elevate to that next part in our life. And if you allow the friend that is the distracting friend to distract you from your growth, then you're not growing. All the time that you were spending, and that doesn't mean that you can't have friends that you don't talk about those other things with, other than what you're doing to grow. But that means that you need to watch your time. That's recreational time. That's not like, you know, how I spend my everyday situation. Like, you are who you hang around. The old saying, birds of a feather flock together. And for those of my Christian friends who are on here, we have that scripture that says, the man that hangs around wise men will become wise, and the man that hangs around fools will end up destroyed or go to destruction. Something along those lines. You guys can Google it, look it up. But long story short, you notice that depending on the type of friends you put yourself around, the ones that you spend the most time with, they can create and shape your reality, whether you want to admit to it or not, or whether or not you want to agree to it or not. If your friends are constantly moving and shaking and hustling and trying to build businesses or grow in whatever way that you're trying to grow, you're going to grow faster, if nothing else. It's like putting like an amazing growth on your garden where, you know, like you just flourish and you really are developing and producing fruit. But if you're hanging around people, and we'll say, you know, based on that quote, fools, but they don't necessarily have to be foolish. They just have to not be going in the same direction that you're going. What they're doing is, while you're trying to go this way and they're going this way, the time that you spend is keeping you back. It's not, you're not going as quickly in the direction that you're trying to go, or you're not moving at all, you guys. And so, you know, that would be something that I would say everyone should do. Really evaluate, how are you spending your time? Who are you spending your time with? And are they growing you in the direction that you want to go, or are they slowing you down and maybe even stopping you from the direction that you want to go? And you guys, like, I really assess this because most of the time I spend my time talking to like-minded people. I spend my time talking to people who do the same things I do, or have the same hustle mentality that I do. And the time that I spend with people who don't, it, because of the place that I'm in my life, has become limited, because I'm moving, I'm constantly moving, and I'm trying to grow. And if you're not talking about growth, I'm not talking to you, I'm not trying to hear you, I'm not, we gotta be friends, okay? We can't be friends. That's just the situation. So you guys, I mean, I'm not trying to tell anybody to start like getting the scissors out and clipping people, but really assess, like, if you're trying to go somewhere, who are you spending your time with, and what are they trying to do? Because the people who you spend your time with, the things that they are trying to do, those are more than likely the things you will start to do. Okay? You guys, if you agree with me, if that's something that you've already implemented in your life, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you're like, Chrissy, you done lost your mind, I done had this friend since I was 5 years old, and even though they aren't trying to do nothing with their life but be a bad and all of that other stuff, that's, and I'm out here trying to hustle, you know, like, they're not hindering my hustle, put that in the comments too, okay? And you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you really like this kind of content, please let me know. Don't forget to like the video, because that definitely helps YouTube put it out, and that's what we need. We want growth, we want production, we want to see the fruits. So please like the video. Please do not forget to comment, and definitely subscribe if you have not already, and ring the bell, because if you don't ring the bell, you won't be notified. In fact, it's like you don't even know I exist, okay? And I mean, like, we're cool. So know I exist and ring the bell, okay? You guys, I hope that you're having a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you soon.